We often read the Quran without reflecting on its verses, but the Quran has the power to renew life and refresh perspectives. In verse 185 of Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah declares the commandment regarding fasting in Ramadan. Immediately after, He states, Allah intends for you ease and does not intend for you hardship. That is, I know this task is difficult, but I don't want to cause you suffering. I command you to fast for your own good. It's like a child who must study to become a scholar or an expert in the future. Parents need to temporarily take toys away for the child's own good. If it were possible to gain knowledge while playing, parents would happily let their child play freely. Allah's treatment of us is similar. If there were an easier way for our spiritual growth, Allah would command that. Whatever path is most optimal, most comfortable, and best, Allah shows us that one. Because He loves us. Just as a wise child, upon growing up and attaining knowledge, thanks their parents for the upbringing, a servant of Allah also thanks Him for the hardships they endured as they rise to the peak of humanity. This is the logic of the relationship between Allah and humans. We should love Allah in this regard. We should love Allah not only for the blessings He gives us, but also for the blessings He withholds, for the hardships, the commandments, and even the trials He sends. One day, the Prophet saw a mother desperately searching for her child among captives. The mother risked her life to find her child and immediately began to nurse him. The Prophet then asked his companions, "How much does this mother love her child?" The companions responded that her love was immeasurable. The Prophet said, "Allah's love for His servant is far greater than this mother's love." In hadiths, Allah's love for His servant is compared to a parent's love for their child. A mother, for example, takes her child to the doctor for a painful injection for their health. When the child cries, the mother cries too, watching from the side. An ungrateful child sees only their own tears, while a virtuous child notices the tears of their mother. Similarly, an ungrateful servant sees only the hardship, failing to see the divine love and care behind it. Allah commands us to fast for 1 month for our benefit and elevation. To console our hearts, He promises, "I will reward every breath." Reciting even one verse will earn the reward of completing the entire Quran. And I will grant the reward of 1,000 months of worship for 1 night of worship. And even, I will give rewards for sleep. When one naturally falls ill, Allah forgives their sins in return. If someone lovingly smiles at their parents, Allah extends their life. If someone kisses their child out of love, Allah grants them paradise. If someone falls on the road, Allah averts calamities from them. Allah seizes every opportunity to bestow goodness upon us, improving both our worldly lives and the hereafter. Moreover, He sends prophets to inform us that this difficult worldly life is very short, and we were created for eternal happiness. While this difficult world is so attractive and pleasant for us, Allah tells us to be patient to go to a better realm. When we pass away, we'll realize how short life was, and that its hardships weren't worth all the worry. If we can grasp this truth now, we'll be able to thank Allah even in the most difficult moments. We will appreciate difficulties, seeing each one as another chance for our happiness to grow. What a wonderful Lord we have! Though He has no need for us, He treats us as if He owes us something. Truly, He acts toward us in a divine manner, with infinite mercy and grandeur. A tradition tells of a servant who commits a wrong and brings inevitable calamity upon themselves. Later, they do a good deed or ask Allah for forgiveness. Allah then commands the angels, "Remove this calamity from them." He further orders, "Write down the reward they would have earned by enduring the calamity." Astonished, the angels ask, "O Lord, it seems as though you were looking for an excuse to forgive this servant. How pleasant is the difficulty of struggling with the self. How interesting life becomes when struggling with the self. Observe how children approach video games. If a game is too easy, they find it boring. The challenge makes the game engaging. For someone struggling with the self, life is like a game. Without difficult stages, it would lose its appeal. A true believer constantly seeks challenges to live more meaningfully and grow stronger. As for comfort, more about this in the next episode.